Flosstube, it's Donna, Doodlebug Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of September. This is episode number 12. We have a baker's dozen. So I want to welcome any new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. For those of you coming back to watch me today, thank you so much for coming back and joining me. I really do appreciate it, more than you know, so thank you. So it's been very busy in the Newman household this week. Today is a in-service day, so Doodlebug is home from school. She's in her room occupying the dog right now so that I can have some quietness and do this filming. It's about 10 till 10 in the morning here on Wednesday. The sun is out and we have blue sky, which is a rarity lately because we've had remnants of Florence come through yesterday. It was torrential rains, really bad. We're under a flood watch for most of the day and evening last night. But so far so good. The sky is blue and there's a little bit of white, pretty white fluffy clouds and sun. So I figured I'd get the filming in while I could. I have my coffee, which is necessary, and my Starbucks mug from a couple Christmases ago. My best day ever. I'm trying to have a good day. My husband woke up this morning and proceeded to announce that he wasn't feeling so good. He had just been to the doctor on Monday evening and got his flu shot, and he always claims that the flu shot makes him sick, and sure enough, he's starting to get sick, and so am I. I haven't had my flu shot yet, which that's forthcoming. So I'm just trying to caffeinate and wake up and hopefully not get sick today. So I'm gonna bulk up on some remedies today. So let's talk about stitching. So last week I announced a new feature each week in my videos, the spin the wheel. So for those of you who haven't watched or didn't see my last video, or please go back and watch it. I did the Decision Roulette app and included in it all of my current works in progress. So this is not just Stitch Mania projects, but things that I found in going through stash that were not completely finished. So I put all those projects into the Decision Roulette wheel, and I went ahead and spun the wheel last week and got selected a Mania start. This was by Twisted Threads. This was my itty bitty project. So I'm combining two together, the itty bitty bee and the itty bitty honey, or I'm sorry, the bitty bee and the itty bitty honey. So the piece that I had been stitching on was the bitty bee, which is here. I'll get up close there, focus. And so that's what I spun the wheel for. And then on Saturdays I work on my wheel project for Spin the Wheel Saturday. So I posted a picture of where I had begun and then where I finished, and I'm sorry if it's not clear enough because some of that, but it's 1/1 stitching, and I was able to do the bee right here. I'll get it in real close, hopefully they can see it. But it's 1/1 stitching, so while it doesn't look like I got a lot done, I actually did, because I got the whole entire corner of the chart, and I'll stick it back there. So I got the entire, well, this corner over here, that entire corner piece done. So I was pretty happy with that. So with that, I'm going to spin the wheel now to determine the project that I'll be stitching on for this Saturday. So I'm going to get my trusty app up. Let me unplug myself here. because I had it on the charger. So we're going to be picking my wheel, which is Get 'em Done. That's the name of my wheel. Get 'em Done. So we're going to spin the wheel. There's a better picture of it. Get 'em done. We're going to spin the wheel. Actually, let me spin that again because my volume was off. Let's do that again. That wasn't fair. Okay, so we're going to spin the wheel. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to spin the wheel and see what gets chosen for this Saturday. My Blessings Abound, which is another Bent Creek, or it's a Bent Creek design. So I'll be stitching on that this coming Saturday. So thank you all. If you want to follow me on Instagram, which is @DoodlebugStitcher, I'll post a before picture on Friday. And then I'll do my stitching on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll post a combined picture of the before and after. So thanks for that. So got that out of the way. Next up are other stitch alongs. So hashtag season of the SAL was the hashtag I kind of created because I am doing so many projects right now that are SALs. So I have several of them to show you that I worked on during the week this week. The first one is Cottage Garden Samplings, Peace on Earth. A lot of you are doing this. I've seen a lot of really nice finishes, so kudos to you ladies. And I worked on this both last week and again yesterday. So I got all of the fill in, if you notice there. Let me put it on the board so you can see it better. There we go. So I got a lot of the fill in on the house, on the bricks, that lighter color. And I'm starting to fill in the windows and the door. And then I still have to do the roof, and then I can move on. But I'm pretty happy with that. I only had yesterday. Yesterday I started filling in the windows, and then when I stitched on it last week, I got the brick fill-in done. So happy with that. And then I've also been working on this week Little House Needleworks Pumpkin Hollow Farms. This is the stitch along from Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, Chelsea and Priscilla. And you guys can see where I have gotten to. So, I'm not so sure. I did the lettering the way it's charted, but it doesn't seem to stand out as much as I thought. And it's too late to rip it out, so I will. Oh, it's not centered, sorry. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to continue to work on that today and tomorrow, stitching on that. And then I have the 'Tis the Season SAL, which I worked on this weekend. I worked on it on Sunday and again on Monday. I'm not getting as far along on it as I wanted to, but I'm happy with it. So I'm working on getting that tail built and getting that filled in. That's going to take me the longest, I think. So, you taking her out? Okay. The nice thing about having her home is that she gets to take care of the dog today, which is nice. And then the last thing I've been working on this week is my car project. So I've been doing more work on knee-high by Hands On Design. And I posted, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted this week because the chart calls for dungarees, and I started to do the dungarees. This here is dungarees, the blue in the flag, which is meant to represent the stars of the flag. So I pulled out my skein of dungarees and I started stitching it. And unfortunately, my skein of dungarees was not as variegated as this was when Kathy Haberman did her model for this. So I was kind of unhappy with it, and so I went through my flosses that I had and I pulled some skeins. Those of you who follow me, or you know, who are watchers already, already know that I'm not the biggest fan. I love Weeks Dye Works colorways. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm just not a big fan of the coverage that the floss gives on the projects that I've attempted to use it on. I just don't get, the thread feels thinner than other overdyes. And I can physically see a difference when I take a strand of Weeks and I lay it against a strand of like Gentle Arts or a Classic or any of the other overdyes that are out there. I notice a definite difference in the thickness of the thread, which affects the coverage. So I had pulled a Weeks Dye Works thread, Sky, which I really liked the tonal nature of it. And then I also pulled a Classic Colorworks, I think it was Rainy Day or Rainy Sky, I think it was Rainy Day, which was blue, but it was much paler and much more subdued blue, but still had the variegation in it. And so I had posted it on I posted it on the Hands On Design Facebook page, and I posted on my Instagram and on Stitch Mania's Facebook page. And so I was like, okay, what do you think of my choices? And so a lot of people came back and said the Sky is really the one you should use. It's got the blue, it's got the variegation, it's the perfect mash of the two. And so I got one line of it done, and I was just like, I can't. The coverage just, you could obviously see that the coverage was different compared to the other stitching that I had done, which was not with Weeks Dye Works. So I went scrambling through my skeins again, and I came across Blue Jay from Gentle Arts. And so the color of Blue Jay is an almost exact match for Sky. So I went with the Blue Jay, which is what I ended up stitching. And you can see it. It's gorgeous. I really love the gradient. This is the gradation I was looking for. And so I got that done this week in the car, and then I've also planted my corn. You can see my corn's been planted. So I'm working on those corn stalks on either side. I'm going to come back and do the red. There's 2 shades of red that are used for the stripes on the quilt flag. So I'm going to come back to those once I get the sides built up, and then I want to get that sign done. Once I get that, I think I'll then hop back here and do the red before. That way I'm doing the red here and then the red in the barn that's up here at the same time. I try to stitch in segments so that I can get the bulk of a color done and then move on, so that I'm not hopping around. I don't like, I'm saying this now, but I'm going to be, when I start my next SAL, there's a lot of confetti stitching, and I'm not a huge fan of confetti stitching, but I'll do it because the pattern is cute and I love the pattern, so I'll deal with the confetti. So those are my current works in progress, my whips. And then I will be starting another stitch along, which I talked about. I showed the fabric for it last week, which is the Halloween March pattern from Teresa Kogut. And that stitch along is being hosted by Rachelle from the Cottage Needle shop on Etsy, and Shirl from Tranquil Stitches. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second because I have a story to tell that involves Shirl. So I'll talk about that in just a bit. My boards, I have this metal board, this metal clipboard, which I use for like patterns and when I'm holding things up. And because of my needle minders, it tends to want to stick to the board, so I kind of have to keep them separated from each other. Like you can't, they don't play well together. So, so I want to talk. I guess the first thing I'll do is I'll talk about the Halloween March. So Halloween March I talked about in the last video. I didn't have the flosses, I didn't have the charts. I had just gotten the fabric and I wasn't sure when I was going to get around to stitching it because with me not working, I have to be picky. I have to be choosy with what I'm spending the little bit of stitching money that I've earned through my D-stash selling for stitchy stuff. And so I hadn't gotten around yet to getting the chart. So lo and behold, I record last week's video. About an hour later, my mail comes and there's a package and it's from the Cottage Needle. And I'm like, well, didn't order anything from the Cottage Needle. And then I remembered that Shirl had messaged me very haphazard. It was just very nonchalant. She had messaged me and asked me for my address. And so I had given it to her. And so I opened the package and it's the chart with a note. And the note from Shirl read, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the note in front of me and I apologize, but it was basically thanking me for recording my videos because she enjoyed watching them. And I about cried and I messaged her and I was like, oh my God, you made me cry. And she was like, I hope they were happy tears. And I'm like, yes, they were happy tears, but I never ever set out to do this with the intent of the result being people sending me stuff. I mean, it's so kind. I had a viewer send me a pillow, which was one of the stacks from Plum Street Designs, which I was like blown away by because her stitching was exquisite, and just for her to send me that was beyond thoughtful. But this is she knew that I wanted this and she just went ahead and got it for me, and so I'm so excited. So I went this weekend, in fact I went on Friday and got all my flosses except for one, the elusive DMC 680, which is old gold, so I have to still find that skein of DMC. So I was just thrilled. So Shirl, I'm giving you props. Thank you so much. And thank you to Rachelle as well for sending this to me. It was amazing. And your thoughtfulness is just, it shows how big your heart is. And so I can't thank you enough. So I love you. Thank you, Shirl. So I got that. So I'm excited. That's going to be a project that I'm going to hopefully get started. Not the rest of this week, because this week is kind of already planned out, but starting on Sunday, I guess it's the 24th? Yes, the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd. So on whatever Sunday is, this coming Sunday is what I'm going to be starting is a different format for my stitching, because I have so many projects that are currently in play and stuff that I want to start. I'm going to be stitching a different project. It's kind of like Mania, but I'm doing the same projects on the same day every week. And then I'm not, you know, so I'll have 7 projects going on, 6 that are planned, and then 1 that is the wheel project. So I'll have those, and then no new starts until one of those is finished. So I'm not adding in anything else until something gets finished. So hopefully that's going to work. So wish me luck on that. So, who I've been watching this week. So in addition to my duo ladies who I watch every week, and I have 4 channels of 2 stitchers that I watch faithfully every week. So they are Basic Stitches, Jamie and Jordan. Love you ladies, thank you. Of course, Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, Priscilla and Chelsea, Cross Stitch royalty, if I have to say. Pam and Steph, also royalty in my book, from Just Keep Stitching, and Liz and Deb from Country Stitchers, who happen to be in the Stitching Guild locally that I'm joining. So super excited because I'll get to talk to them on a monthly basis in real life. So in addition to them, this week I watched Jan Hicks Creates. I have to say, Jan, your Harbor Haven project is exquisite. I messaged you on the video to ask you where you got your fabric, because if I'm going to jump into that project, I would love to know where you got your fabric, because that fabric makes the project. And I was drooling on my tablet when I was watching your video because of your Victoria motto, Bewitched Flosses. You, along with several other floss tubers that I watch, were lucky enough. I missed them, and I could kick myself and cause bodily damage, honestly, because I missed them. So if anybody knows of anybody who wasn't thrilled with them and is interested in selling them, let me know, message me privately. I would jump all over those. So I did find out because I messaged them and they responded back. They are planning to do a different collection of grays in October. So I'm hoping that I pay attention and get those, because if I miss those as well as the Bewitched, I'm gonna like seriously crawl in a corner and cry for like a month. So I watched Jan Hicks Creates this week. Of course, I watch Shirl every week. All the SAL, you know, you're doing a lot of the SALs. I wish I had the time to incorporate Hawk Run. Hawk Run is one in my my stitchy wish list that I don't have in my collection, and I would love to stitch one of them. And I was this close to joining the Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs that you and several other stitchers, I know Christine is stitching that. Hold one moment for the noise interruption. Close the door, please. Take her in your room. Take her in your room. Yes, but you can do that in your room. Does anyone else have this issue? Okay, so anyway, I know Christine from Stitch All the Things is doing it. I know that Steph from Just Keep Stitching is doing it, but it's the Away We Ride. Why that's a hard tongue twister for me, I don't know. Anyway, I wish I could join you ladies in it, but sadly I can't. So I'll just be watching all of you from afar and encouraging you and drooling all over the beautiful stitching that you do. And Shirl, congrats on Redbird. I know you wanted that so bad, and I was so excited to see that you got it. So congrats to you on that. I'm just looking here. Pardon me, I have notes. I know I can remember who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about. So speaking of Christine at Stitch All the Things, all your SALs, you're kind of in the same boat. We'll just call it a yacht. You and I will be on the SAL yacht. Congrats to you. I kind of like took a cue from you as far as you're trying to organize your SALs, in trying to organize my stitching as well. So thank you for that. I love the pillow that you received with the anchor on it. That was so cute and so thoughtful, and I love seeing your updates as far as your son and your stitching and all the projects that you're working on. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then Jan mentioned in her video, and she actually had posted something on Instagram about it, and I had messaged her, and so she got me watching a new Flosstuber, at least it's new to me, stitching the high notes, Opera Joe. And she is doing a pumpkin SAL, which I can kind of join in because I'm already stitching a couple of pumpkin projects. So I'm doing that as her pumpkin SAL. And she has a Ravelry group, so she's a knitter. I used to knit, so I have a Ravelry account. And so I went on the Ravelry group, and she also does stitching projects, cross-stitch projects. So I'm following up her along there as well. And then also this week, Lynette from Homesteading on the Home Front, I took a look at her video this week because she was showing projects that she completed for upcoming submissions to her, I think it's her county fair. I don't know if it's her county fair or state fair. I want to say it's her county fair. And I love the ladies, you ladies who live like in the Midwest and everything. I love that you have these outlets to show off your work, because here in Delaware, we have a state fair, but it's downstate up here in the northern county of the state, because we have 3 counties, Newcastle, Kent, and Sussex. And most of the stuff with the state fair centers around Kent County and Sussex County. So up here in Newcastle County, you don't hear very much of it because our county is so urbanized. It's there's so much urban sprawl here. You don't get the understanding and the simplicity of the more rural counties. So I kind of miss that. I'd love to maybe participate in it in the future, but I don't know. So I enjoy seeing those of you who participate in those types of projects and programs in your states. I so enjoy watching them. So thank you for sharing those on your Flosstube account. So Lynette, congrats, and I wish you luck on those projects, and I hope you bring home a lot of blue ribbons. So speaking of projects, I want to talk about the round robin that was organized and hosted by Country Stitchers, Liz and Deb. And I received in the mail this week. In fact, it came, was it yesterday? I think it might have came on Monday afternoon, and I didn't open it until, anyway, I opened it yesterday, and I cried because it's beautiful. My project, not only was I sent the last project that I need to stitch on, but the stitcher behind me in the rotation, Betty Ullin, who is Betty Ullin on Instagram, she sent me my finished piece. And if you haven't seen it, I took a picture of it and posted it on my Instagram yesterday, but I wanted to show it to you now, and I'm trying not to cry because it's gorgeous. And I'm gonna cry because, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry because it's so difficult to find people who truly understand the joy of what cross stitch brings to people. And the piece that, what they did with this piece just totally encompasses everything that I hoped it would be and more. So I thank you, Deb and Liz, for not only organizing this, but pairing me with the three great ladies who stitched on my piece, Betty and Lisa and Linda. Thank you so much for the work that you did. And so I want to show you guys this. And so I had picked the colors for fall that I wanted. And the color palette that I picked and sent along the flosses, and they just, it's beautiful. So I want to show you each section. So this section was done by Betty. And do you see that tree? Oh my God. And pardon me for a second, I'm going to scooch up so that I can kind of get this really in there. Do you see that tree? And look at that sheep. Oh my God. Look at the texture on that sheep. And she put in a little bee skep. Look at that bee skep. And so it's so balanced with my block on my piece, which you guys have seen before. And then Linda did this beautiful primitive flower basket. And it's so balanced with the basket of fruit that Lisa did. Can you see that? I mean, it's gorgeous. I can't wait. My husband even commented, let me scooch back here so you're not looking up my nose or anything. But my husband even commented on how beautiful this was. And he was like, are you going to get, are you going to finish that? And I'm like, are you going to have it framed? And I said, yeah. I said, that's going to be the next step, is to get it framed, to hang up. And he said, well, you're going to have to show it again once you get it framed, because it's really pretty. So thank you ladies so much for doing this. And thank you again to Liz and Deb for organizing it. It was everything I hoped it would be and more. And if you guys do another one, sign me up. No questions. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I also mentioned in my last haul with my last video that with the hauls, I'm not going to be, I'm trying to be very selective with what I'm spending, what limited money that I have on. But in saying that, I still do have hauls. So it's just, this is stuff that I ordered or that I purchased just as I stopped getting a paycheck. So there's, there'll be some little things here and there to show. So I will do that. The one thing I did want to show is this was from Etsy. And I had a few of these. These are the Monthly Mania charts, and they're just little single cardstock charts from Heart and Hand Designs. And I think I had 3 of the months. I had January, February, and I had August, I think. And I wasn't, at the time, I thought I'm never going to have the time or the energy to try to collect them all. Because, if you have a monthly series, it's kind of why, if you don't have the whole series, then what's the point? So I went ahead and I had sold them on my D-stash. And then it just so happened that this came up in one of my my search. I have saved searches, saved search categories saved in my Etsy. Or not Etsy. I keep saying Etsy. eBay. Pardon me. Not Etsy, eBay. So this was something in my eBay that had come up. And it was like, hey, this item is getting ready to end. And so I'm looking at it. And I thought, well, that's the entire set, all 12 months. Already completed. So I bid on it. The starting bid was $7.50. And so I waited until just before it ended and I bid. And and my bid won. So I paid $8 with free shipping for this entire set. So I now have a monthly project, and I have an idea for finishing, if I stitch them all, for a finishing idea. And then I'll finish them all the same way and then be able to put them out monthly. And then that's February. So I thought for $8, that's a bargain. I mean, I can't do math really quick, but if you take 12 and divide it by 8, it's less than $1 a chart. And then June. And then one of my favorites, July. I might do that pattern without the wording on it. I have an idea for that. August, that'll look great with my mermaid and beachy stuff that I do. This is the schoolhouse for September. And this is October. Pumpkins, which I'm getting ready to I wanted to do it this weekend and I just did not have the energy. It was kind of a veg weekend, and then Santa for December. So it was kind of a veg weekend. My intent was to get all of the fall decorations out and get everything decorated, and that way I could film where I normally film. That didn't happen. So I'm hoping this week that it will do. So next week I probably will be back in my normal filming location in front of my bookcase, but with my fall decorations out. So keep an eye on this spot. I also got, prior to the announcement of Lizzie Kate designs being available again through 123 Stitch, I had ordered this from Crazy Annie's, which was I got it mainly, I mean, it's seasons. I love seasonal designs because, you know, they make great decorations. But I liked the fact that it was one chart with all 4 seasons in it. So instead of having to buy 4 different charts, you buy one chart and you have 4 designs. So I had gotten that from her, and that came in the mail. And then I had gotten these Blackbird design charts that were on my list. These are my Sooner Than Later Blackbird designs. So this is Pumpkin Farm. Oh, look at that white pumpkin. And that's another thing we're getting ready to do, is to go to the orchard for pumpkins. I'm hoping I can find some blue pumpkins, blues and greens. That's my that's my hope. And then I finally got Sweet Land of Liberty from Blackbird Designs, and this is the booklet. It has 5 patterns in it, and I mainly got it because I saw another stitcher on Flosstube stitching this, and I just thought it was gorgeous. And so I think this might be something that I do as a project next year, and that gives me time to search out just the right flosses that I want to use. So there's that pattern, and then there's also, I should have marked it, this pattern here, In Full Glory, and it gives you finishing instructions for making it. So I think that might be a project that I do. And then I also got this piece. This was from, so those books, those charts were from Stash Unload on Facebook. And then the Heart and Hand was from eBay. The Seasons was from Crazy Annie's. This fabric I purchased, and I thought it was more green aqua, and it's not. It's a more blue aqua, which is even better. This was from D-Stash. This is a piece of 32 count Glacier. Look at that modeling. Oh, could you die? and it's a big enough piece. It's 13 by 17, so I can, you know, easily find a project for that. And then this is the grand finale, because you're gonna die when you see this. So go to my Instagram and look through prior posts, and there was a post, I want to say it was maybe at the beginning of the month or in August, but it was my charts for my Stitchy wish list, which was Michelle Bendy had created, or had talked about this hashtag going around, and it was basically a post of your Stitchy wish list. And one of the pictures that I posted was a chart that is out of print from Blackbird Designs. I'm really into Blackbird Designs. I don't know why. I have a huge list of stuff that's out of print that I want to try to find. But someone contacted me and told me that they had this design, so the person that I bought this book from, I bought this book from her, and we were talking about Blackbird Designs, and she said, oh, I have a whole bunch of old out of print Blackbird Designs. Are you interested in any? And I laughingly, I said, like, because really, I was like, you don't by chance have Sunflower House, do you? And so her response was, why, yes, I do. And I was like jaw drop on the floor. It was like one of those cartoon, like, boing. And so we talked a little bit, and she ended up selling me this for a very reasonable price. I'm not going to disclose how much, but yeah, so I got, this is in my top 5 of my Stitchy wish list. So it's Blackbird Designs, Sunflower House. Could you die? OMG. So never did in my lifetime did I think that I would ever own this. So I'm just beyond thrilled and over the moon. And so this will be a start that I do probably in maybe over Christmas. Maybe over the Christmas break I might start this. So that gives me time to get my flosses and to find the right piece of fabric. This was done on Friendship Blue from R&R. I think I might change it a little bit. I haven't decided, but it's gorgeous. And I definitely think I want to stitch it on a higher count. This was done on 28 count, and so I think I'm going to want to look at like 32 and up. The higher the better. And so I'm just delighted with that. And then, so that's it for me. Oh, I'm sorry, there's one more thing that I got, so I should have done that before. I have a project bag. This is a maker on Facebook that makes project bags. Her name is Marlene Closser, and she sells her bags on the Stash Unload group on Facebook. And she had a picture of this, and I was like, oh, I need this, because this is the theme. And you'll see this year when it gets closer to holiday decorating, you'll kind of get the gist of my decorating theme for Christmas. But it's all about buffalo check and farmhouse Christmas, like farmhouse buffalo check woody decorations. So pine cones and cardinals and trucks and tin and that kind of stuff. And so I saw this Christmas bag and I flipped over it. And so I needed to have it. And I thought this would be cute because I'm still working my never-ending Farmhouse Christmas series that I've really only stitched one block of because I haven't decided what I want to do with it yet, and so I don't want to. I want to be preemptive and not stitch it in one spot and then say, oh, I really wanted it in another spot. So anyway, this bag will get used for that project because of the red truck. And you'll see in my Christmas decorations, I have a lot of cute red trucks. So now I'm finished. The upcoming week, on Saturday this week, I'll be stitching Blessings Abound from Bent Creek, thanks to Spin the Wheel Saturday, the other projects, and then on Sunday I will start the new rotation of all of my SALs and those projects while I am continuing along to try to get some of those finished. So in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like this video and would love, if you'd like this video, please hit the like button. If I am someone that you would like to continue watching, please subscribe. Follow me over on Instagram at DoodlebugStitcher. And also friend me on Facebook, Donna Newman, and you'll see the little ladybug logo, which is my profile pic, so you know that that's the right Donna Newman. In the meantime, have a wonderful day stitching. I'm going to try to enjoy the sunshine, and then I will catch you guys next week. Until then, happy stitching and take care. See you later. Bye-bye.